Day 4 jury deliberations get underway this morning in the Kim Potter trial. The former Minnesota officer claims she mistook her gun for her taser when she shot and killed Daunte Wright during a traffic stop last year. Earlier this week, signs pointed to a possible hung jury when jurors asked 2 questions. Wednesday, we heard absolutely nothing from them. And with the holidays fast approaching, we welcome back former prosecutor Leslie Ricard Chambers to sort out where things stand right now. And of course, it's been 3 days of deliberation, still no verdict. If you're the prosecution, when do you start being concerned about a hung jury?
Well, you start being concerned when the defense closes out their case in chief, to be frank with you. And this, at that point in time, the state is left with creating an argument, putting words together, and being able to present those words in a way that the jury can construct and reconcile the evidence along with those closing arguments as well as rebuttal, because closing arguments and the rebuttal, that's not evidence. But what I do appreciate about what the state did as it relates to their closing arguments and that evidence is they highlighted a very important factor, and that is Kim Potter's use of force. And I think that that was important because the standard that this jury has to consider is whether or not Kim Potter acted as a reasonably prudent officer under the circumstances. The issue with that standard for the state is that their own witnesses, police officers who took the stand on cross-examination, surmised that had they been in Kim Potter's situation, or if they were the ones in her situation, they would have done the same thing. And so that's something that the jury has to consider, and probably is considering, even as they ask for the reviewing of certain pieces of evidence, such as the handgun, and trying to
Mm-hmm.
compare the feel, the touch, the weight, all of those things, all of those demonstrative things, to put them in a position to understand Kim Potter's perspective when she shot Daunte Wright. And so those are things that I'm sure that the state has been concerned about since the beginning of this trial, but definitely creating a construct by way of closing arguments to say this is why her acts were unreasonable and unnecessary, and thus
Mm-hmm.
this is why we've met these elements beyond a reasonable doubt, and thus she should be found guilty according to the state. She should be found guilty.
Yeah, the jury's got to work through a lot of things. I misspoke. Daunte Wright's death took place earlier this year during the Derek Chauvin trial as it was going on
Yeah.
in the same city. But let's talk more about the deliberations here. Once again, on Tuesday, they came out and asked the questions. If they could not reach a consensus, what would happen? And the judge sent them back into the deliberation room. Yesterday, we heard nothing, Attorney Ricard. So what does that tell you, if anything?
Well, it tells me that they are taking their job seriously, and they don't want to do this case an injustice by just making a conclusion, just a few hours after deliberation. They are really taking their job seriously, considering all of the evidence, considering all of the testimony, and also bringing their own real world experiences to that jury room. Because when we have juries, when we select these jurors, we tell them that reasonable doubt is based on their reason and common sense. And that is the key question, that
Mm-hmm.
in this climate that we're living in this social justice climate, in the wake of new standards being set by way of jury trials, prime example, the Derek Chauvin case, it highlighted issues within police departments as it pertains to use of force and what's reasonable and what's unreasonable, and the biases that are associated when that force is applied, to whom that force is applied to. And so I have to believe that these jurors, that their reason and their common sense has been shaped by all of these recent
Mm-hmm.
occurrences, of police shootings, killings, the killings of Black and Brown people at the hands of police. Those are things that they are taking with them as well. And when you consider all of that, there's a lot to unpack here for them. And so I am hoping that a conclusion is reached. If they do have a hung jury in this case, Mike, they at least the state does get to go back to the drawing board and try this case all over again. And they get to probably tie up some loose ends. They get a chance to see what they missed, what opportunities that they missed on the first try. But I really, really do think that the jury is going to come back with some decision before the holidays is approaches on Saturday.
Yeah, they got today to get that done. If not, then I think they're off until Monday. But like you said, a highly emotional
Yes.
case actually happening in the same city, the same courtroom as the Derek Chauvin trial
Yes.
took place. So I know all of that is on their minds as well. Before I let you go, once again, we're hoping that they can come to a consensus. But how many times will they, if they can't come to a consensus? What's the process like? How many times will the judge send them back before he says, look, if you can't come to a consensus, you can't come to an agreement, okay, I'm just going to declare this a hung jury, mistrial, or whatever, and we can start all over again. How does that process play out?
Well, fortunately, this judge has been very fair-minded, and very meticulous and very disciplined in how she handled objections, questions from the jury, and so she does want to lay or create an environment for them to where they feel as though their questions and their concerns are going to be addressed by this court, and she's done that so far. And I don't see her deviating away from that. And so, as long as this jury feels as though they need to continue to deliberate, I think this judge is going to allow them the due opportunity and the due time that they so desire.
All right, we'll see if they can get something done today. You're getting it done for us
Yes.
this morning. We appreciate your insight.
Mhm.
Attorney Leslie Ricard Chambers, thank you for starting your day with us. We'll check back in with you a little bit later on as well.